Welcome back to Rodecast, guys. Hope you're doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And in this video, we're going to be looking at another ICE arrest coming out of Chicago. We're going back to Chicago, where there's a lot of ICE activity. And if you missed my last video, go check it out. Over here, we talked about Florida and some of what's happening there. But in this case, we're going to be looking at people literally crying in a press conference and crying to the media that some illegal daycare worker was arrested by ICE. Okay, ICE agents are up early in the morning doing their job to protect America, and people are mad at the police instead of being mad at the people who hired illegals to take care of their children at a daycare. This is the upside down world we live in.
There in the North Center neighborhood, grown-up parents had to be really caught off guard.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, they certainly were. A very distraught crowd of people here outside of the Rito de Sal daycare after what happened this morning. We're told a teacher who seemingly has a work permit was followed in her vehicle to work, followed into the building and then strong-armed out of it. All of that happening in front of children.
Well, Irish lassie should here know that a work permit is not enough to be a legal citizen in America. Okay? I don't know if that was a fully Irish accent, but anyways.
Top of the morning to you, laddies.
Just please stop.
They finally got an Irish reporter, at least. I appreciate that. You know, it's a change from all the Marias that they have. But anyways, a work permit is not an authorization to be in America. Okay. People can get alligators and cats and dogs can get work permits at this point. So having a work permit is not the equivalent of being here legally. Okay, I don't know how many times I have to say this, but that's the law. So no matter how many times you repeat and say, "Oh my God, but I had a work permit." A work permit is not allowed to be here legally. Okay, anyone can have a work permit and still be an illegal. Being able to work and being able to legally be in America are two different things when it comes to the legal system. Okay, she should know. Ireland here should know that.
Strong-armed out of it. All of that happening in front of children.
The children, what about the children? The children will be fine. Seeing the police arrest criminals is a good lesson for them not to break the law. So I'm glad that the children saw it, actually. What is this whining about the children? Okay, the police can never do their job if there are any schools around or if there's a daycare. What if there's a shooting? Can the police go in and arrest the shooter, or should we, because the children might see police officers, should we let the criminals run wild and do whatever they want? Is this the new standard, or is it just for illegals? We can't arrest them.
As soon as I got here, I saw two cars. They had lights on. I was trying to figure out exactly what happened, and then I saw the teacher being dragged out and into the car. So immediately, obviously, I knew it must have been ICE.
This lady...
Yeah, she knew because she knows that the whole neighborhood is teeming with illegal aliens who invaded her country. But she doesn't care about that. She's more worried about the police doing their job and wants to stop the police.
One of the many parents trying to drop off a child this morning at the Rito de Sal daycare along Addison met instead with the sound of screaming as a young teacher was dragged out of the building by armed, camo-clad and masked men.
They went into the daycare with our kids there. Like, it's just... I am at a loss for words for the...
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words at you being at a loss for words. She can't believe that the police did their job. Believe what? I got no words to describe them as feelings.
I am at a loss for words for the, again, audacity.
As those watching realized what was happening.
Audacity, yes. How dare we implement our federal laws? How dare the federal agents do their job and remove illegal aliens who have broken into our country? How dare they do that? The audacity, oh my God. Your audacity is what I can't believe. Jesus Christ.
Flipped on.
I was just thinking like what to do. Like, I know the first thing that I've heard, everyone's told me to record and report it. I've told a lot of my friends to share it on social media, on the videos, like just to let everyone know as soon as possible.
Some arguing with agents.
See, this is the social media brainwashing I talk about. Okay, this one. All these young kids who are on TikTok, they've listened to idiots who think they know the law but don't. Okay, that's why they're always screaming for warrants, because they're told by stupid liberals on TikTok who don't know the law. They're always telling people to ask for warrants, not knowing that ICE is a federal civil organization, not a criminal agency like the FBI, who do need warrants to arrest you. ICE agents can civilly detain literally anybody, including me, including citizens. They have the right by law in a public place to ask for your right to be in America. given that they're immigration agents. Okay, that is a different type of detainment than criminal arrest, which the FBI and the ATF and other agencies do with the judicial warrants. Okay, so ICE agents do not need warrants in public spaces. That's the law. Okay, which they do not know. The idiots on TikTok. That's why you see all these freaking white women usually screaming at these agents like, "Where's your warrant? Where's your warrant? Signed by a judge."
Hey, ma'am, señora.
Where's your warrant?
Ma'am, ven tantito.
You have a warrant?
Ven.
Where's your warrant?
I don't got warrant.
No, where's your warrant?
Hold up.
Where's your
We're trying to
warrant?
figure out to get his keys to someone, and you're interrupted. Can you just let us get his keys to someone, and then you can ask all your questions, okay?
I'm asking you right now. Where's
Right
the warrant?
now?
Where's the warrant for his
You're not my
handcuffs?
authority. He is, all right?
They don't need a warrant unless they're going to go to a private space. They don't need a warrant. Okay, but these dummies don't know anything. And people get brainwashed with bad law, bad advice on these social media platforms, and then they come out and try to reenact it in the real world. At least she didn't get in the way of the arrest, so I appreciate that because she's used her brain. But recording and putting it on social media is not going to help either. What are you going to do? She's already been arrested. She'll be deported. The ICE came directly for her. They followed her to where she worked, which means they had a specific information on her. It wasn't a random thing. So she most likely has a removal order out of the U.S., which means that she's already gotten her day in court. An immigration judge has ordered her removed from this country because she came here illegally, most likely an economic migrant, which means you have no right to be here, and you broke in illegally, you're gone. Okay? She's going back to Mexico.
Just to let everyone know as soon as possible.
Some arguing with
Did it help? Letting everybody know, did it help? No, it didn't, innit? So you just wasted your life and your time.
agents as they got back into their Texas registered vehicle and drove off.
It's just absolute terror. Like, why are you at a daycare at 7 a.m? This isn't right. This isn't America, and this isn't who we are.
Yeah, we got a taco eating Juan over here telling us what America is. Boy, you don't even know what America is. You're not even an American. How about you stop dictating to the rest of us what America is? We love what the ICE agents are doing. I love it. And real Americans who care about this country being for us love it too. This position at this daycare could have gone to an American white woman, but who was working there instead? An illegal alien. A fact that's never brought up by any of these people, okay? Because they don't care. They're for open borders. They want everybody in the world to come to America without any checking, no vetting, nothing. They just walk across the border and the left welcomes them. This is their ideology. Nobody should be ever removed. No, there should be no vetting whatsoever. Let them flow across the border because it's not like any criminals will come over. It's not like Laken Riley was murdered by one of these people and many other women as well. Okay, so no vetting necessary. Just let them all come. And if you arrest any of them, this one's going to tell us how un-American it is. Taco Juan over here from Mexico is going to tell me about being American. Hilarious.
Why are you at a daycare at 7 a.m? This isn't right. This isn't America. And this is
because they're trying to do their job. That's why they've woken up early in the morning to protect Americans from illegal aliens. Okay. And whether they're directly violent or not in every specific case, they have broken the federal law and they need to be removed from this country. They're doing their job. What are you doing? You're whining about federal agents doing their job in the middle of the day. Where do you work?
isn't who we are. It's an absolute travesty.
Those sentiments echoed by Alderman Matt Martin, quickly alerted to what was going on, telling us the woman appears to have been followed here in her vehicle.
ICE agents followed her in, violently detained her. There's a child inside. They identified it as the school. Her sister was on site, showed her paperwork. ICE took her away.
Paperwork. Notice the words he uses. This lying liar over here.
Nevertheless,
Adding, if you can't be safe at work, in a daycare, then where can you?
If you're an illegal, nowhere. We're going to hunt you down everywhere you are. You're not safe anywhere. That's why they need to get the hell out of here by self-deporting. If you don't, you can expect to get dragged off like she was dragged off. Get ready. Okay, this is clear. Kristi Noem has told everybody this. Self-deport now, or we're going to drag you out screaming. And that's what happened to her. She literally was dragged out screaming. Get ready. Okay, this is America. This is how things should be. We never had a president who actually executed the federal law like this before, and we finally have it. It's a change. I'm glad that the federal law is finally being implemented. It's not as tough as I would like, but still I'm happy.
this is truly horrible. You have the president who will say, we're taking the worst of the worst off the streets and there's more to come in Chicago. And like, what else? Like, they've come to hospitals, they've come to daycares. What's next? There's no one doing what ICE did to our community today.
Yeah, there's no undoing it. They look like they act like the F agents murdered somebody. There's no undoing the damage that they did. What did they do? They removed an illegal alien who should have never been in America in the first place. And we have idiots who hate their own country whining about it. They held a 53-minute press conference on this, okay, the local politicians, that just posted as I was about to make this video. Hilarious. Crying about some illegal. Now let's continue on to the crying here.
I am horrified by what has happened here today. Our community has been shattered. Our families have been traumatized. The children were crying. The parents were crying. It's a scene that I don't think any of us have ever witnessed before. And
oh, get ready. You're going to witness a lot more of it. Good Razi, another dirty immigrant. See, this was just like 2-3 days ago, I told you about how legal immigrants are simping for the illegals and they're whining about the illegal being arrested, which means you're there for open borders. If the federal government cannot implement their law, basic law, which says that people can't just randomly walk across the border and just live in our country as if they own the place. That's basic, okay? They're against that. They're against that. That means they're for no border controls whatsoever. Anybody can come in. Murderers, rapists, drug dealers, cartels, which they have come in, by the way. And Americans have been victims of their crimes, but they don't care. All they want to do is just make sure that the foreigners are comfortable and able to break our federal laws and never be punished for it. Okay, that's what all the people gathered here, whining, all these ungrateful people whining. That's what they're all about. That's why I don't take a word they say seriously. They already lost me. Okay, they were literally crying on the ground, as you can see here, for illegal aliens who were arrested by the police.
shattered. Our families have been traumatized.
Everything is traumatic for them. Breathing is traumatic for them. Okay, I'm sick of this word trauma, which has been overused now. It should belong in a psychiatry environment, but it's been overused by idiots who don't even know the word or the meaning of the word trauma.
Parents were crying. It's a scene that I don't think any of us have ever witnessed before and will ever forget. There was no warrant. No, they don't care about documentation.
ICE doesn't need a warrant. No knowledge of the federal law, no knowledge of immigration law. But she thinks she's a genius coming out here and speaking after watching some dummies on TikTok who also don't know anything about the federal law.
My understanding from what I've seen and from what I've heard is that numerous laws were violated today.
Not a single law was violated. They did their job. This is a public area open to the public, and they walked right in as a member of the public. I got news here. Federal agents are also members of the public as well. They can go into public areas. As I just got telling you at the beginning of this video, ICE agents can go into any public area. This is a daycare that's open to the public. It is not closed off. They didn't break any doors. So they didn't break any laws. This dummy just said, my understanding. You don't have any understanding. You have zero understanding of this situation or federal law. So why don't you take off your glasses and go home?
Is that numerous laws were violated today.
You're supposed to tell your children that law enforcement is taking care of you, right? That they're here to serve and protect, that they're keeping us safe.
Yeah, we're not here to keep you safe. You're a Mexican. You need to go back to Mexico. Okay, Americans are kept safe by American law enforcement, and real Americans are grateful for what they did today. I'm grateful for what those ICE agents did. You're not, because you're not an American.
What are we supposed to tell our children?
That a criminal was arrested by the federal police today who broke into our country. That's what you're supposed to tell your children.
What kinds of conversations are we now supposed to have, President Trump? What kinds of conversations do you want us to have with our babies, our children, who are supposed to be kept safe?
The only people protecting your children are the people you're hating on. The federal agents who did their job today, they're the only ones protecting your children. You are trying to invite as many criminals into this country and then letting them stay here comfortably and commit crimes as possible. No vetting, they're for open borders, which means anybody can come in. And they don't want even the smallest amount of enforcement of federal law. Immigration law. They're completely against it. They're completely against ICE doing their job. Anytime they see an ICE agent, they lose their minds because they know that an illegal is going to be shipped out of here. When people walk across the border willy-nilly as if they own this country, they are spitting on the face of every single citizen. But we got citizens who are out there simping for the illegals and attacking ICE and claiming ICE are the criminals. That dummy with glasses said multiple laws were violated. Not a single law was violated when those agents did their job. The police are the ones who are criminals according to them, not the criminals who broke into their country. Those people are awesome. But the people who arrested the criminals, they're bad. This is the insanity of the left when it comes to their immigration policies. Oh, no Democrat should ever be president. They are out of this world. Insane when it comes to immigration. Okay, I'm not a big fan of the Republicans. I don't like any of these politicians, but we cannot let the Democratic Party with their open borders mindset get into power. Okay, they're going to destroy this country even more. And that's all I got to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in my next one.